The Architects Review Committee to order. Present this evening are Carol Marsh, Paige McMahon, Andrew Miao, Kira Vath, and myself, Stephen Sally. I'll be the chairman. I want to welcome Kira. She's joining us this evening for the first time. So first on the agenda is Orleans Yacht Club, 39 Cove Road. Replace windows and patio door and cedar shingles.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I am Donnie Dunham from DeMartin Dunham Builders, representing the Yacht Club. We'll be doing the work at the Yacht Club as stated in the application. Do you want me to just give an overview of what we're doing?
Sure.
Okay. So this is a like-kind renovation on the Town Cove facing side of the Yacht Club, if you've been to the Yacht Club before.
Yep.
The existing windows are Anderson windows. They're about 40 years old. Many of them are leaking. So they're going to be replaced same size, same style that's there now, same trim color, and then all the siding surrounding the windows, because it makes sense to replace the siding when you're replacing the windows, will be replaced. The storm shutters will be removed and then put back. So essentially, the whole plan on the water side is to look exactly the same. No change in any style, design, or anything like that. It's purely a maintenance issue to the club.
And that's the only side that's being reshingled.
Yep,
And then you
so,
have some other, you have a couple other window replacements and a door replacement, I think.
yep, good question. So highlighted on the east facade, which is also what I technically would consider the water side, because the marsh sort of wraps around the club.
Correct.
So on the east side, there'll be windows replaced, and then the front door to the club will also be replaced because it's really rotted. But
Right.
that will also be a full view, same style door to meet code for the club. And that's pretty much it. It's really just a maintenance repair.
Yeah, I think we have a complete submittal where we have the site plan. That's, I think that's the GIS site plan.
Yeah.
What arises is the question of the lighting. We have what appears to be non-compliant lighting on the water side where you're doing the reshingling. And the other lighting is actually likely to be non-compliant too. So I, you know, looking at this, I went over there and looked at it carefully.
Yep.
So that is something we have to address.
Are we saying from a full cutoff standpoint, or what?
Well, you can look maybe if you're familiar with the lighting bylaw, and then that goes with the recommendations from, you know, the Dark Sky
Yep.
organization.
Yep.
And basically, the lighting bylaw says, if I can remember the wording, is that the shield has to be down below the bulb, at least halfway down the fixture. It looks like the lighting on the peak of the gable end is some kind of archaic, wall mount yard light.
Yep.
So I would submit to the members that we could, certainly approve it contingent on the lighting coming into compliance, and you could check with the building commissioner with Mr. Walters
Yep.
on that. So,
Okay.
does that make sense to everybody?
It does make sense.
Yeah, no. That's the-
And that's my comment. If anybody else would like to comment on that.
I didn't see that in the dark, but this picture actually shows it. I think that light serves to light up the whole front area over
That's
there.
the idea, yeah.
So the question really is, if we approve the windows and all that, Are you all willing to do a light that complies and still lights up that front area for?
Yeah, I presume that, I mean, speaking on behalf of the club, obviously it's a club, so there's a membership committee that makes this decision. Mark Adorni, that's here with me, is the director of this aspect of the club. But yeah, I don't see a reason why we can't accommodate updating
A
it.
simple change.
Yeah, it looks like a simple change.
Changing of a light fixture in
Yeah.
place, you know, it's a.
I think to your point, I think more importantly, making sure that the patio, this area is the patio area for events, so making sure that it's safe for the club.
If I may suggest, go to, if you have an electrical engineer or you have a lighting showroom, tell them your situation, have them take a look, let them recommend a light fixture.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's, lighting is complicated sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
All right.
seems reasonable, for sure, thank you.
Any other comments, Carol?
No, I don't think so. It's pretty straightforward.
Is Michelle on the line somewhere? Is she watching us?
Michelle Donahue, the secretary, would not be online. Jennifer Fountain, our recording secretary, is going to be doing it via the Zoom, the
Oh,
tape.
so she's somewhere
Yeah.
that-
She's on.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Jennifer.
I think she means that she's going to review it later.
There
There
she
she
is.
is now. She was detained in another meeting. So,
I am here, yes.
Yeah.
I was just not a participant until Peggy added me.
well, we're glad you're here. So if there are no other comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve contingent on bringing the lighting into compliance. Now, the question arises, you have other lighting on the building. There's an LED light and some, spotlights and so on. Our understanding from the discussion we've had recently with the building commissioner is that that would be included, so that, the spotlights and that LED mounted light would be changed. If you look at the lighting bylaw, chapter 122, it's pretty clear the intent back in, I think it was 2004, and then again in 2016 was updated that there's a clause in there that says lighting should be brought into compliance within 5 years from the date. So, obviously, good luck with that.
Yeah.
But that would be the case. You could ask, I would ask the building commissioner for a bit more guidance, but from what he's told us,
Yep.
it triggers
It opens
the
the can of worms, for
upgrading of the
sure.
lighting. So that being the case, would someone like to make a motion?
What is the motion right now? I
The
know to
motion would
approve.
be to approve contingent on bringing the lighting on the building into compliance.
Okay,
Does
so
that sound?
it's really not reviewed by the committee at this point about all the other ones. We've only just talked about the one in front.
There's the one in
But
front.
the motion will cover all the other lights, is that correct?
That's my understanding from what Davis Walters
Yeah,
is
but
directing
this
us.
has
Yeah,
not been a discussion until you
Yeah.
mentioned the other ones.
yeah.
So our motion's going to include the other ones?
Would-
That's my understanding about
It
the
would
way it's.
include all the lighting.
That's the way it's supposed to work. That's
Yeah,
my
so you
understanding.
talk to the
Correct.
building
I'll talk to
commissioner
Davis as
about
well.
all of the lighting.
And just, I'm only asking this question because I just had my house recited and I know what happened to my landscaping. Do you anticipate that it will be spared, or do you think,
The landscaping and the,
in where the windows are gonna be replaced?
it will be spared because the area that you see the greenery, like on page 2, we're gonna be doing this work sooner than later, so
Okay,
that's all sort of cut back, if you will, or
okay,
it's
okay,
it's pretty far away from the building, so I don't think it'll be disturbed.
because that would have been something that we would have to
Yeah, no.
approve if you were making a change.
We're trying to keep it as much the same as possible.
Makes sense to me.
Another, I think back to the, back
Yeah,
to
what's your
lighting.
idea, what would you suggest?
Excuse me, I forgot your name, is it Donnie?
Donnie, yep,
Is it all right if I call you that?
of course, yeah.
I'd like to say, okay, that this could be a troublesome thing to just have to comply with this lighting bylaw, especially when you have stuff up there. But I would take a proactive approach to that, and that's why I would suggest that you get somebody who knows about lighting, because not only will you be able to comply, you know, you'll be able to get the building to look a lot better.
I hear
It
you.
really needs some thought, and that's the whole point, you know?
Yes.
The building looking better will benefit the yacht club, and of course will benefit all of us neighbors who are
Get the light.
driving by, you know, 6A over there and going to the yacht club.
We're out on the town code.
You understand
On
what
your
I'm
boat.
saying?
I totally
If
do.
you
Because
have
that's
to,
what
you
we
know, myself,
We're
I mean,
talking about, it's not.
make lemonade out
There's
of
side
it.
lights here, there's side lights here, but it's.
The challenge with the club is that
The
it's
key one.
in a flood zone and the last storm, you know, the challenge is maintaining it while, like Mark and I were just talking, I mean, the ice came up to the door during one of the storms, so like balancing the maintenance while budget and, you know, and it's a membership, it's not, so.
Exactly.
It's a challenge to keep it, to not overspend, if you will, and I'm sort of speaking on behalf of the club, but that was, I'm a member myself, so.
Well, that would perhaps be your, part of your point. You might be able to consolidate the
Yeah.
lighting. To me, looking at it now, I can understand why you want to have security lighting around the building, et cetera, but when I visited it today, it looked like a bit of a pastiche, you know, that some stuff had been added and some stuff was newer and some stuff was older. And perhaps, you know, there would be, not knowing how long, what the duration of nighttime lighting is, you might experience savings and so on. That's part of what's intended in the lighting bylaw, is in their preamble there.
That's a
Understood.
good point, because when we look at something just from point of security, that's only limited. Steve brings up a good point in changing the lighting. It could be energy savings as well, which is cost, you know, so it may offset the cost of light fixtures and all that, but take a whole broad look, make the building look better, gain something for yourself, have the security, but also add beauty. I'm into beauty.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We're talking about this light as well.
That light, and I can show you, you know, phone pictures of other floodlights, you know, they're the, essentially, the common old-fashioned floods.
And
And then
halogen, yeah.
there's a newer LED unit that is, you know, again, meant for
The parking.
broad,
I know where you're-
overall lighting, you know, perhaps, you know, for a more rural setting, if I may say so.
Wait, are we talking about replacing these lights as well?
The lighting on the doors and so on, that appears to be compliant. We addressed this at the high school store, and they have the black caps on top. If you look at the door lighting, it has a black shield, so,
But doesn't the light project outward?
then it projects outward, and that's where, again, in chapter 122, it talks about, it's 1,200 lumens or 75 watt
Right.
bulb, and that looks to me like those are, would be compliant both in terms of the black cap and the, you know, you can't overlamp a fixture like that. So but that's a good point. If we're gonna get into this,
Well,
which apparently that's what we're charged with doing.
But I think kind of light that is not going to draw birds, which is especially important in a spot like this. It still seems like the light, I mean, I know that security and the safety
Yeah.
is a concern, especially since I belong as well.
Yeah, no, I knew you did.
But as long as you feel that's compliant.
Well, in the end, it's the building commissioner's job to ensure compliance. We note it, and he can, according to 122, waive, for example, architectural lighting. You want to highlight features of your building in a certain way, and supposedly he could have the
Yes,
final
right.
judgment on that. This is like the, this doesn't, well, it does show it. This is, you know, I'll hand you this
Thank
over.
you.
But see, here they're showing like that kind of a light, which isn't exactly the same, but it's a capped
Right,
See,
yeah.
light.
I guess I was thinking something more like that,
Or,
that.
yeah, or that, which is more fully capped. Have you ever seen this thing? It's from the Dark Skies people that supposedly set the standards.
The wall side light,
You know,
thing.
let me pass that over to you, Don. It's, you know,
No, it'd be a
I
bigger.
keep a couple of them.
Have to do that. I should probably abstain, right?
Yeah,
So the question returns to the wording of the motion.
But I think you've covered it, saying, and all other lighting.
So approved contingent on bringing the lighting on the entire building into compliance with the town, chapter 122.
Right, if that's what the sense of the committee is, yeah.
I believe so. Any further comment?
no,
Would you like to make the motion, Carol? or-
I think I should abstain since
You
I
should
belong.
abstain.
she's,
Oh, okay.
she's the member.
Well, okay, that's very true. You shouldn't have been.
No,
And so I can't ask,
Yeah,
even ask a
so we'll say
question.
one abstaining, an abstention, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so, well, then I'll make the motion, which will be to approve contingent on the lighting for the entire building being brought into compliance with chapter 122. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
It's seconded. So we have 4 to vote tonight, because you're abstaining. All in favor?
I,
Aye. And then the motion is carried, 4, Jennifer will know, 4, 0, and 1 abstaining. I hope that's correct.
Yep, I think so.
yeah,
So let me just fill this out and then.
Do you want this back, Stephen?
I have plenty of them if you
Are
want
you
to
sure?
keep that.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Kira,
Yes,
may I ask the spelling of your last name?
of course. It's V as in Victor,
Yes.
A-T-H.
Thank you. And
So
to
if you just
the
want to
presenter,
photograph it
what
down
is your
here.
name?
Where it says name and signature of the applicant.
oh,
And then Michelle Donahue will have that all ready for you in the building department.
our recording.
Jennifer's asking.
Jennifer needs your information.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer.
the spelling of your last name, please?
It's Dunham, Dunham.
So
Thank you.
I'll sign
Yep.
this, thank you. And I'll pass that to you and to Kira, I think we can all, we got four, we can all go, well, yeah, four, we can all sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. And we can do a page.
Oh, that's right, exactly.
And then,
It was so long ago.
and then, next on the agenda is gonna be, the Skakit Beach Motel with the, solar panel installation. I see we have someone on Zoom.
Yes, good afternoon.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you. I would have loved to be there. I had some family tragedy. I had to travel out. I'm just missing out that ambience.
We're sorry
I had to
about your
travel out.
family.
Yeah.
Has everybody on the committee had a chance to look at the materials that are presented and get an idea of what is entailed?
Do you have any copies of that? I've been.
Oh, okay. It's under here. It's this
Oh,
one, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Basically, the most important thing from our point of view is the site plan. There's quite a bit of information as to the actual equipment. The site plan I'm referring to is going to be on the second page here. It's labeled A100. And we assume that, I hope everybody recognizes that north is up.
Yes.
is everybody familiar with the location of the motel?
Yeah.
And its visibility from Route 6A and from Lots Hollow Road, and the idea that the panels are essentially facing to the, I believe, to the south.
Well, that's north, so
Yeah, so they're naturally, they're on the,
So they're on the
well, on the
backside?
southerly side of the units. And, it looks to me like they would not be very noticeable. That's, I find it hard to go out there and make an actual reconnaissance, because you have to mind your driving. You can't be looking off to the side at that location. Are you, Mr. Aman, are you actually well familiar with the motel itself?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Aman, are you the owner?
I am the installer of the solar panel. The owner is also not in. The owner is a company called Sai Shraddha Inc. And I have a contract with Sai Shraddha Inc. To install the solar end to end. So
My question
we
to
have
you is,
designed- Yes, yeah.
the solar panels that are there, are they roof mounted? Are they raised from the roof? Flat? Are they on a tilt?
I don't think so.
What's
They're
that?
on the tilt, they're on the pitch, and
As
they're
if they do.
exactly touching the roof. It's not mounted, it's a part of the roof.
Do you know what the roof angle is that it's sitting on?
Yeah, the roof angle, I don't exactly remember, but it could be 30 degrees. I'll have to just check quickly if you don't mind. The roof angles could be around 30 degrees. Yes, they're pitched to roof, and we're just using the roof to be.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, I don't have a problem with that.
Who's the owner of the property?
He's listed on the front page here.
Isn't it,
It's down here, I think, somewhere.
Heman Patel.
Yeah, correct.
Patel Heman.
isn't it typical for the owner to be here as well?
Or his representative, often, we've had the contractor or another agent, like, for example, a lawyer could represent the matter.
We're just looking at the solar panels.
I mean, there are some trees that would obscure from the backside of this.
Yeah,
I
it looks
think.
like in
There are a lot of trees.
reviewing it on Google Street View, which is a summer image with full foliage. So very little of it is seen. There's a house up in front that you may be familiar with as you turn in. I believe that's the owner's quarters. And so that roof essentially faces to the north. And there's nothing going on that. If I'm correct, the panels are only going on the motel units themselves. The owner's house up in front there, it doesn't have any panels going on it.
Correct. Yes.
I think it will be fine.
It is what it is.
Yeah, well, remember, we've had some,
Right.
there's been questions in the past about reflection, bothering motorists, all kinds of things like that. I don't think that's
That's not-
applicable in this case.
That's not an issue in this case.
No.
Are you ready to make a motion?
Yeah, if there are no further questions or comments,
I don't think so.
let's have a motion to approve as submitted, I think.
Yeah, approve the project as submitted.
Okay, the motion's been made. I'll second that. And again, everybody can vote. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0-0. And we'll complete the form, and then you pick it up from the building department.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so after this, we wish to receive the building permit. I think they have been waiting for this approval, and once we receive it, we'll get on to construct the system.
Correct.
Thank you.
Can I just,
Go ahead.
I know we've already voted, but in this section, what changes will you be making? Additions, exterior modifications, and new buildings? The new building on the application?
So we are not modifying any, what we're doing is we are using the existing system and placing the solar panel on the roof. There will be few conduits that will bring the DC wire to the inverter and the inverter's AC wire to the combiners, and we will connect to the existing point of interconnection, which is basically where the main switchboard is. So we are only mounting the inverter and the disconnect on the wall, and that's it. We are not modifying anything, we're just
Okay,
placing
and
it there.
no new buildings? No new buildings
no,
to
no.
facilitate this? Okay,
No.
okay. Okay.
So I think that we're all good. And
Right.
I took that to be,
Yes.
I don't know what I took it to be. It looked to me like part of the online application. That's the difference, in my opinion, between the yacht club application, which was typed on our paper
On our
form,
paper, right.
and what happens when you fill out
Right.
right.
a digital application.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Okay. And you were right.
Well, you were correct about where the, all the cabling and the panels that control everything and all that stuff is all consolidated, shown to be consolidated low down on the back of the building. So, again, not at some place where it would be unsightly. And,
Right.
Yeah,
well, yeah, obviously,
A
we
blight.
already have the power substation right there.
There. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay, so I think we're all good, Mr. Amon, thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
You too.
And you
you as
too.
well.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I think I'm having a hearing problem.
Hearing problem?
Maybe it was just the accent.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed recently that there's been a delay between the voice and the image.
And when we,
right.
I'm not sure what that's about, it was pretty obvious in some of the Olympic commentary. Okay. So I'm gonna pass this around. I regret to say that I got Michelle's notation on the top confused. I will make sure she notices that. And everybody got a chance to look at the minutes. I think we can all all vote on approval of the
Yes,
minutes,
we can.
right?
Mhm. That's what you-
I just had one question on the minutes, and that was, if you have, do you have them right there? I pointed out.
No.
They're buried somewhere, maybe they're down this way. It has to do with the statement that lighting on the Stop and Shop building was non-compliant and that we did not address that. I didn't fully understand if there really was non-compliant and what the non-compliant part was. In other words, there was a discussion about those discs on the building that, and a discussion about the backlit.
Right here.
But and I don't recall that, specifically what was non-compliant, but I could have just missed that. That's my comment.
I thought we discussed it,
Yeah.
and even though we didn't like it, it fell within the purview of the
Yeah,
bylaws.
the backlit keeps
Right.
coming up.
Right.
So that was what I thought
That's,
we were
that's,
talking about.
that's what
Yeah.
I thought as well.
And I may be the only person that noticed that, but.
No, I did notice it too.
Oh, you did, okay.
I did.
I don't know if it's necessary to change that, or whether we just
I don't
go
think
with
so.
it.
I don't think so
I think-
either.
I think
Good.
that makes
Yeah.
no sense. None.
So, yeah, good. Then we can approve the minutes from way back January 22nd, right?
January 22nd.
Yeah, so would you like to
Move
make?
approval of the minutes of January
Do you,
22nd.
sorry, do you need an amendment to the language?
We're gonna just let it stand the way it is, Jennifer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a detail that I don't think is of consequence.
I have some issue with it, but it's not with the minutes, because what the minutes report is a review of the meeting with George Reservi, and this is what happened. So it is as it says. We can talk about concerns I have later.
Okay. So,
Jennifer, do you
The second set of minutes.
do you recall that?
well,
We did have a discussion about it.
Right.
yeah, the report is
I can
attached
see
as part of the
why there's
minutes.
confusion. You were discussing referring back to the previous meeting when they presented. You had not made a determination whether it was compliant or not. You were suspecting in this meeting that's minuted that was non-compliant. But you didn't have the application in front of you, so perhaps it wasn't a determination, it was more of a discussion point.
Yeah,
So
well, I think that would
perhaps-
be the clarification if we we're gonna make one, that we
Yeah.
did not determine formally,
Yeah, exactly.
um,
Your motion, though, at the earlier meeting did stipulate that they should conform to the lighting bylaw. But it didn't say lighting was compliant or non-compliant.
well, we just have this one copy, Jennifer, so you have to bear with us.
Okay.
I looked at it on the computer. and so-
I, on my reading of it, which I have in front of me.
You have it in front of you, good.
I agree with what Jennifer is saying.
Okay,
Right. Jennifer's normally right.
Nothing was settled on that,
okay.
Stop and Shop and FAR.
So, maybe, do you suggest that we should change the language so we don't give the appearance that we made the determination? I don't know how.
It doesn't say that here, so I don't see the
Let me see
need
where
of
it's at. Yeah,
changing it.
yeah. something simple, that was, I got back there, yeah.
This was discussed before I got on board.
Oh.
So you can leave it when it came.
Didn't it see, I mean, my
So
recollection,
now you
that
choose.
was here the night.
A couple
Yeah,
times.
that was
And we
the-
asked him to, told him that we didn't like that.
Okay, the language that I'm reading is, the new Stop and Shop sign was cited as possible issue because building lights are non-compliant. But the ARC did not address the issue when approving the new signage. And non-compliant was the part that I did not hear.
Perhaps we should say might be non-compliant.
Yeah,
I
that would
see.
be, maybe we should put might in there then to better reflect the situation.
Good point. Yeah, I agree.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So you're talking about, all the lighting being compliant and non-compliant in the
Yes.
bylaws. Is there somewhere where this is all written that I could read to understand?
Yeah, it's
Like
in,
what's considered compliant, what's considered non-compliant?
Exactly, yeah. It's not a long and complicated document. It's chapter 122 of the Town Code of Orleans. And it's easily found on the town website.
Kira should also, when you're passing through, if you go to the building department, there's a whole booklet that they give all new members.
And that's true. I think,
Okay. So I wonder if that's the booklet she gave me when I had to come and she swore me in?
It's like a spiral,
Yeah.
not spiral, but it's probably about this thick.
yeah.
And it has every bylaw.
It has the bylaws. Oh, this
Right.
might have been just a handbook of some sort.
Yeah, it's 8 by 11 size.
Okay.
But it has there's a whole section on architectural review, and there are points that we have to be cognizant of
Yeah. Okay.
when we,
Excuse
when
me,
we,
Andrew, I'll pass
review
this down to
something.
Kira. There's my copy of it.
Okay.
I can't remember, 6 years ago that we were given
Kira
such
might
booklet.
find your 14 points valuable to have a copy of. I think that's on your webpage, isn't it?
I'm not sure,
The
but
14 points, yes.
look and see if that's what you have,
Okay.
that they've given you, and if not, then you can get a copy from the building
Okay.
department.
Yeah, or you can
Perfect.
just download that
Yeah.
there.
But this is it. Okay, all right.
So,
great.
are we now in agreement? Thank you for your patience, Jennifer, I think it's been a long day. Are we in agreement that we will insert the word might in that, so that it would read that Stop and Shop was cited as a possible issue because building lights might be non-compliant, but the ARC did not address the issue when approving the new signage.
If we're making changes,
That one change, yes.
yeah, I would like to suggest another one.
Okay,
I think the word cited sounds pretty official, that something was done. Could we say it was
The word what?
mentioned, cited?
Oh, cited.
I got
Sure.
cited for a traffic violation,
Right, yeah.
yeah,
We should
that's a
just say
good
just
point.
mentioned, that's,
Yep, fine.
So it would read, the new Stop and Shop sign was mentioned as a possible issue because building lights might be non-compliant, but the ARC did not address the issue when approving the new signage. How does that sound to everybody?
I think what was said to them was that we recommend that you not use that lit sign.
Right, I think
Period.
that.
I think that is my recollection.
Yeah, that would be a
No.
recommendation.
She's got a look on her face like, nope, it didn't happen that way.
Well, we,
We might have discussed it, and
Right.
yeah, the backlit sign, backlit signs are
Or
the.
interior lit
Have
signs.
slipped in as a substitute for, and they're called halo,
Is
which
that what
sounds a
they're
lot
called?
better.
Right.
They've slipped in as an alternative to internally illuminated, which is not allowed at all. So it's kind of, I always thought that was kind of a compromise, that, you know, stores like Shaw, Stop and Shop, et cetera, that are, you know, that lets them have, I don't know, and not to mention our old friends at Chase Bank.
And we did,
Right. How
and
could we
and the
forget
night that
Chase
we met,
Bank?
and the night we met with Meth, we did tell him that ask him
Yeah,
that we would like to move forward on banning these, and
Yeah.
it would require it to be done at town meeting.
we retired to be done at town meeting with a modification to the lighting bylaw, which it turns out that the ARC is in charge of. I hesitate to use the words citing and enforcing, but if you pass that back, I'll show you that part, which I had totally overlooked, right? Thank you. But before we do that, let's resolve the minutes.
The minute, to resolve the minute.
Okay.
There's a motion which we're gonna, I guess, rescind, and then the new motion will be to approve the minutes with the modification of the, that would be what?
Minor changes is adequate because I've caught it.
Yeah,
I've done it now.
She's already done it.
okay, so, we can approve the minutes with the modification as stated. Is that okay? Or should I
Yes.
reread it?
I think that's simple enough.
Yeah, simple enough, good. So, do I have a second for that?
I second it.
Yeah, and all in favor, you don't have to vote because you weren't here. So,
Aye.
Aye. So,
Aye.
it's 4-0-0, thank you, Jennifer.
Great.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah,
Was that Mr. Yao who moved it?
No, Steve did.
I made the motion, yes,
Okay.
to approve the minutes with the modification as discussed. So I call everyone's attention before we adjourn, and I think Mr. Meow wants to make some comments under matters arising. But I call everybody's attention to this part here, which says, a lighting review committee is hereby created and shall consist of 3 members appointed by the Board of Selectmen, or in the alternative, the Board of Selectmen may designate the architectural review committee as set forth in 164. So we have a free hand. And that's what Mr. Walters was pointing out in his the discussion that followed. Okay, so under matters arising, I think you had some comments about the report on the meeting. Was that what you had some comments
No,
on?
really, I want to have a discussion with the committee about this whole issue of lighting, because
Okay, good.
we seem to be talking about it a lot.
Oh, and we've been talking about it, it seems like for years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
at every meeting.
it seems like where the committee is going is that if a project comes in for ARC review, we find it within our purview to look at all the lighting, whether it's
Yeah,
compliant with the bylaw or not, never mind the fact that it was already put in, right? That's what, that we,
that's my understanding from my communication from Mr. Walters, from the
okay,
commission.
if this is the sense of the committee, I would like to suggest that as part of the presentation of an application, that nighttime photographs be made of the building on all sides, because otherwise, how do we know what we're talking about when we come here?
That's a
Yeah.
very good point. It was also noted, I think Mefford Runyon noted it, that there should be a line item here, which is a simple question: does the building lighting comply with chapter 122. He suggested that, and I haven't followed that up with Davis Walters, but I think that your idea would, you know, I mean.
It just helps the committee, you know, if you
Yeah,
have something.
I mean, how
brought up.
hard can it be? If you're gonna, you know, a project like the yacht club project, that's a significant project, it's gonna be thousands of dollars. It's not, you know, I mean, everything is expensive, right? And we understand that, but to make a complete submittal, nobody wants to add extra steps, but, I mean, to really do a good job, why not include that information and have that requested?
Having said that, is there such thing as if light fixtures were, let's say light fixtures not compliant with chapter 122, if they were installed prior to that bylaw?
Well, the way I read the bylaw is that, again, we'll go back to that if I may. It says right here, you know, I really, took me a long time to get this far, right?
I think she's on the first page. He's on the first page.
Where the heck is it now? There's that statement that says, within 5 years, they're given 5 years, compliance, 122-6. When an existing outdoor lighting fixture is being modified, extended, expanded, or added to, the outdoor lighting fixtures shall be subject to this section. All other outdoor lighting fixtures must come into conformance with this section within 5 years of its effective date, and the effective date was, I think, 2004. So,
Oh, is that right? Okay.
I mean, that's, I was kind of surprised, but that was the thinking of the proponents that, of the bylaw back then that brought it to town meeting.
Yeah, so, okay, so
Yeah.
5 years before that is 1999. So prior to that,
Prior to that, or of its effective, within 5 years of its effective date. I took that to mean, like, by, if this was approved at town meeting 2004, I would take that to mean by 2009, they thought everything would be dark sky compliant. No?
Steve,
oh,
can I,
I
Yeah.
see.
may I see that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's take a look at ours.
Oh, But does that mean that we don't, if someone's redoing one side of a building and they have to replace the lighting, does that mean that we will no longer approve a project unless they agree to change all
That's
of the
just
lighting?
happened. That's right.
All of the lighting?
That's what, you know, that's what the building commissioner, I circulated an email to people about that. I'm not sure if everybody got that, but I know Kelly did, and, because she felt it wasn't quite clear, and then I went back, and
5 years, so after
he-
2009.
that's when he called attention to that clause about the lighting review committee being synonymous with.
Architectural review, yeah,
Have to come,
right.
what does it mean to have to come into compliance within 5 years? That they have to make it comply before 2009, is that what it means?
Well, I think that they were, that the thinking of the people that drafted the bylaw was that they wanted to, they wanted to see a big change in lighting
I
in
see.
Orleans. And,
So by 2009,
yeah, which of course did not happen, and has been spotty,
Yeah.
and various, you know, I know from the beginning, it comes up as a question, and I say beginning from my experience, it's come up as a question, and it was a traditional that went with the old rule in that if you don't touch it, you don't have to change it. right?
Right.
That used to be, it was used all the time in building permit matters and so on. But,
I found this discussion very helpful to me. I appreciate it.
Another way that I think that could be interpreted, it says, all other outdoor lighting fixtures must come into conformance with this section within 5 years of its effective date. So if we pass for, are you sure this doesn't mean if we approve something today, within 5 years, they need to?
I think they were
Yeah,
talking,
I dealt with the lighting.
the effective date was the town meeting 2004,
But-
May 10th,
I
2004.
feel like that is not that clear because, you know, within 5 years of its effective, okay, so
Yeah,
you,
well, it's,
that's,
yeah, I mean,
It's
this
a town
is
meeting.
It's a town meeting,
you know, This
okay.
is some
Yeah.
very confusing stuff.
It
Yeah,
is.
no, well, it's
It
driven
is.
us crazy.
But, you know, that's the way the bylaws are built over time and through modifications and that sort of thing. So anyhow, you know, I will, as chairman, I'll point this out to Davis Walters, saying, you know, that we, according to what according to your guidance, we have requested as a, what would you say, as the contingency with the yacht club matter, you know,
right.
contingent on bringing their lighting into compliance. That seemed pretty obvious. I think that there's questions like with the solar panel thing, who knows what kind of lighting elsewhere is on the grounds of the of the motel, and
I think you should address the school question about unclarity of this to our planning department and say, you know, this is unclear to some people in the street. 5 years of the effective date of the enactment of this bylaw or whatever, you know,
yeah,
something
to make
like
it
that.
clear.
But they should
Exactly.
be the ones, or write a letter of clarification so we attach it to our files, you know?
Right.
That's a good idea.
Good
Instead of
point.
going to
Yeah,
Davis Walters.
yeah. Well, and then he's the ultimate enforcer. But
It's not a matter of enforcement, it's a matter
Yeah.
of clarity, you know?
that's true. How would you feel about drafting the letter to the planning board for us? Would you be willing to do that? I mean, you know, in your words, and I can ask Davis for more guidance, and, I mean, in the past, different people have undertaken these different things. I mean, you know, if
Would that
you
be
don't wanna
going to
do-
George Beservi, or would that be going to the planning board?
I would address it to the planning board with a copy to George. That's what I think. And I think what you bring up is very important, that we have a real firm clarification before somebody gets upset. Now, there's, if you look in the lighting bylaw, of course, there's that appeals process. Anybody who's aggrieved gets to appeal, so they can, which is exactly what Chase Bank wanted to do.
Okay,
I think they
this-
did.
I- I-
They did do it.
And
They did
lost
do it,
because
right.
you attended the meeting and you called it to their attention.
So I can draft up a letter and send you all copies as a draft, you could take a look at it.
That's what I've been doing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just, you know, if
Sure.
you don't mind, I mean, if it's, you know,
Okay, done.
But then, in that vein, does that mean that if we approve a project like Skakit Motel, we should have been looking at their lighting as well?
but what I think Medford Running's idea was that there would be a line item on the application which would simply be a question, is the lighting on the building or on the premises compliant with the Orleans lighting bylaw, yes or no? And if you answer yes, and somebody thinks it's not compliant, then or at least it calls it to their attention, right?
Right.
That should be called to their attention, they would ask, and actually ask the building department, actually get, well, it's just really easy to go and look at the lighting bylaw online and see that, and, that was his suggestion.
I think Carol has a good point. Okay, so we passed the solar panels on the Skakit Beach Motel. What about the lighting? Now, none of us have looked at it, right? I mean, we didn't check. So I go.
That's where,
one
if
of
you
us
had the
go-
photographs, it would show that.
Right, but at this point, okay, having done what we did tonight, what this bylaw says, we can drive over there at any time and take a look at it, and if it doesn't comply, it still has to meet the bylaw. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
But enforcing it is another
Yeah, right.
issue. But that's been a challenge.
I see, because we can't hold the approval of whatever they're applying. Davis Walters would have to approve it if we then send him a note saying this is non-compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
should.
could hold it.
Yeah,
I mean, and.
I see, I
And
get it.
if, I mean, we need to be consistent if we're.
right, that's the trouble,
you know.
I don't see we're being consistent yet.
Right, and so,
And so
we-
guess what? We can drive around the town anytime we want, whatever we want. We're gonna be very unpopular.
and very busy.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, no, if we took that on, it would be,
Right, no, but
we've tried it before.
I mean, I kind of feel like, in view of our discussion, that we should have asked us, I mean, people are presenting their project, do they need to bring us pictures of the, I mean, how far are we taking this? Do they need
Yeah.
to bring us a picture of every
Yeah.
one of their lights?
Well, in the case of the yacht club this evening, I was looking at the pictures in their application on my computer screen, and said, okay, sounds pretty normal, and then I looked a little more carefully, and I see this old-fashioned barnyard light up on the peak of the building, and so this afternoon I went over and took a closer look. I took some photographs with my phone, and it was obvious that it did not. To me, it was obvious that it did not comply based on that sheet of of comparing light fixtures, and then furthermore, where it says in chapter 122 about having the shade at least halfway down and some other things like that. So I think that was a pretty obvious case where you had to say something, or we would be not doing what we're supposed to do.
So because of the, I would say, more heightened sensitivity of the committee to the lighting bylaw and its requirements, okay? May I suggest that we approach the subject on existing buildings with care,
Oh, we have to?
Oh, one would
Yeah.
have to.
and
Yeah.
not to, unless something was egregious,
Yeah.
not to make issues of it.
No, that's where I felt
Cases that come in.
that, again, the big light shining out on the town coal. And
Okay, no,
Yeah.
we're all set on that.
We're all
Okay.
set on that,
This
right.
is for the future.
For the future,
But I think if there's no, we don't want to feel like people are being ambushed. I don't think we can really
Right.
proceed with that unless there's something on the application that at least gives them a heads up that this is something we're
Yeah,
going to
well,
be
that's what we
pursuing.
have,
It's
yeah.
something,
Right, but
it's
when
something
is
that has
that
to be
due?
added to the
Do
application.
we know when that might happen?
well, I think I think it can happen easy enough. It just has to be called to the attention. These forms come from, or this form comes from the building department. Right.
So can you
Donahue.
request a modification, Steve?
I will, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what I should do is
And then the-
point out to Davis Walters, pursuant to his guidance on the
Yep,
matter,
yep.
we asked the yacht club to bring their lighting into compliance because we could see that it was apparent it was not in compliance. And that,
Maybe you could go talk to him, he could, the secretary can type it in, and then we can all take a look at it. How's that?
I think they should, you know, modify this form. I think they're trying to phase this paper form out.
Right.
But that Michelle should circulate to us whenever there's a change in the
Right.
application form, definitely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So why don't we,
And maybe the wording should include the night sky wording. Is this compliant with that and in relative to the, incorporating the bylaws? I mean, so people really understand. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that
So
upward light
important, but
is
it's so
bad for the
difficult
birds.
to
Right.
get that
I think we
across.
just
But
say comply
the
to the
application
chapter
itself
122.
should have
You go into detail, night
information.
sky, you can do into a lot of things. Lighting is very complicated.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to just simply, direct their attention to one thing or the other, because chapter 122 includes all that. So we should keep it straight to complying with chapter 122. Now, it's their responsibility to know the law, to find out what it is.
Yeah.
It always has been that way.
And it was very important that, that you suggested that you get somebody who knows lighting. At one point, I was involved with some projects, and
If the application is changed.
there was
that there's the
a
addition
a
of
woman over
lights,
at,
then that would solve.
at a lighting concern in Hyannis. It was very good. She knew this stuff. I mean,
Right.
it'd be just like interior lighting too, it's very important, just having naked light bulbs around the place. I mean, nobody does that, but in their house, but
How
outside,
strict are we supposed to be?
that's, they don't seem to be paying
If
much attention.
we
Um,
present him.
So if we discuss this enough
the
for the
addition
present, I had another
of
question.
Lighting
Yeah,
on,
okay.
on an application, that's the way all applications.
Excuse me,
Moving on, I had another question about lighting.
Okay.
Steve, you mentioned something about the bylaw not allowing backlit signs like Stop and Shop. I couldn't find this.
no, it allows backlit signs. I'm sorry. I may have confused you. Backlit signs, like the Stop and Shop sign, so-called halo lighting, that's allowed, but internally illuminated,
Yeah, I got it.
It's not.
So where was the concern about Stop and Shop?
that was what I was confused about. It seemed to center on these discs on the side of the building that I had never noticed before.
Which side of the building?
On the parking lot facade. They're part of the decorative scheme on the main facade of the Stop and Shop. I had never noticed them before. The big Stop and Shop sign, and off to the right, there are these discs. And I think it was Mr. Runyon that felt that there was something wrong with those discs. So that's why I queried.
Could you, just by looking at an internally lit versus a backlit sign, could you tell the difference? I don't really know what the I mean, when you're looking at it, I don't.
Exactly. It's a matter of definition, if you ask me.
Right.
You know,
So, I mean, Meth was in agreement that he didn't want any more
Yeah,
of these.
he's- yeah.
So, I mean, because we've talked about this for a few years, whether we should be pushing to move forward to make a change. And I think most people in
Yeah.
town would agree that we don't need more illuminated signs.
I think you're right, and in light of that, I mean, you've given us some thought, would you like to just write a modification to that and see if it's something that we should submit to the planning board to come before town meeting? The other way to do it, as I understand it, is you would go around and get a certain number of signatures and present that to the select board. And I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but you can put something on the town warrant. It comes either from the select board, the planning board, or from a citizen's petition.
Right.
Okay. How many signatures? It's awful cold to stand outside at the
I don't
post
know, I
office.
mean, I don't think you'd have any trouble getting,
No, I don't think so either. Sure, I'll do that.
yeah, I
But
mean,
have
see
a-
what you come up with and then, and what harm can it be, right? At least we'll be going in a direction.
Okay.
So
But-
what's that issue here? Carol, could you repeat what you asked?
We really don't want, when Jace Paint moved in, we really didn't want to approve another illuminated sign. And I'm fearful, and we've talked,
Who moved in?
Chase
Chase
Bank.
Bank.
Right. We really didn't want another illuminated sign, but
You mean a backlit?
a
sign,
backlit
yeah,
sign, because,
I
but
don't
we
know,
had,
banks
and
got
they're big, but we had to approve it because it's within their purview in the,
Oh, so backlit is different than halo?
Backlit and halo are two words for the same thing. I've seen them used interchangeably, and as opposed to the internal illuminated signs, as opposed to like, there's wording about flashing
Right.
neon signs and
I mean,
stuff.
and this came up again when with TD Bank, when they redid the front of theirs.
They did it immediately after Chase.
Right, and then we talked about it again, we're talking about the big illuminated signs and then we talked about it more when the town overlay was passed. And because it's the idea for the future is to add a lot more businesses, we don't want to look like the
Okay, so
Las
the
Vegas
issue
Strip.
is We don't want to have illuminated signs.
I don't.
Internally, okay, and that's what you're gonna write about, right?
Yes, because we were all in agreement that we didn't want any more illuminated signs.
But hold on a second, when we say illuminated, we're talking about the
Internally.
Backlit.
backlit
yeah.
signs, as opposed to traditional simple signs that have, a downlight fixture that shines down on the sign, or like a valance lighting situation that washes the face of the sign with light and doesn't
So
go
we're
beyond
saying
that.
we want to have backlit signs, halo signs.
We don't want
We don't want to have them.
Yeah, we want to have them illuminated just as internally illuminated ones are presently.
Wait, wait, wait. So do we want to have
I'm
internally
totally confused.
illuminated signs, yes or no?
The answer to that is we don't want them.
So we don't want internally illuminated, we don't want halo, we don't want backlit lit lights.
Yeah.
Now you've confused me. So the new sign at Chase, is that a backlit sign?
I think, yeah, that they have backlit signs.
But we don't want any of those. We
Yeah,
don't want
we want
halo,
none.
backlit,
You would like to see
or
that.
no
Yeah,
internally.
and
It should be part of the town code, that it should be part of the town code.
yeah. then-
To eliminate them.
To eliminate,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and
that
so
would-
that when somebody gets an application, it says backlit signs are not allowed. And that would sound, well,
Right.
think of all the time we would save.
Right,
Backlit or, and halo lit are just two terms that I've seen used for the same.
Same thing, yeah.
Same thing. I think, you can see in some of the language in the bylaw, they'll cover every term just to be on the safe side. No matter what you call it, halo, backlit,
right.
you
We don't want any of those. None of those.
okay.
Okay. All right. But I do have a brother issue, so I will work on this as soon as I
Yeah.
can. But-
Yeah, all this
Yeah,
stuff takes time, but we basically want to be consistent and we want to move in a direction.
But do we know if there's a deadline for an application to be presented at town meeting?
That will come from Molly Bates she will send around, or you can ask her what the deadline is. It has to be published
Right.
so many days before the meeting, and I don't have that on it.
Well, it would have to go into the booklet as well, would it not?
Yeah, we go into the booklet.
Yeah, it would be one of
Yeah,
the,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
and, yeah, and you would become famous.
well loved.
Okay.
And the sequence, I mean, so the only, or I can ask this question at town hall, there's no sequence of first you go to the planning board, then you go to the next board, and if this is strictly
If
citizens.
you were gonna do a citizen's petition, you would just undertake it, and,
But it would be better if it were basically the town.
yeah.
Initiating it?
Initiating
Yeah, I mean,
it, yeah,
you-
and-
I think
and
you would-
so
I
it's some of
agree.
it, yeah, it needs to be initiated by
Maybe
the town.
I'll send an email to Meth,
I
and
think
just
that's a
say,
great
as a
idea.
follow-up to our
Yeah.
discussion,
Okay, well, it's almost 8 o'clock, if people don't mind, I think we're ready to adjourn.
I think
I
so
thought we
too.
had.
Right.
No, yeah,
Hey,
we're
just
still
putting
on.
your coat on.
I've been putting my coat on for a while.
I move to adjourn the meeting at 8, it looks like 8:48 or something like that. All in favor?
Wait,
Do we need a
7:48.
Second.
Second?
Isn't it 7:48?
Oh, is it 7:40? I can't really see. You're correct. Thank you. Thank you, Kira. Yeah.
See,
So
we
it's
knew there was a
7:45.
reason we wanted you here, Kira.
Just to
Yeah,
tell
right.
time.
She can tell the time.
Getting closer to 8.
Um,
Okay.
We have a second to that?
Yes, I second.
Sure.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.